What's up, guys? Stacey Blackwood here with another episode of Tide Talk Live, and I'm joined, as always, by my good buddy Jake Thomas. Jake, what's happening, brother?
Man, I'm doing great. Excited to be here tonight. A lot of fun stuff going on around Tide Talk Live. So I'm glad to be here for it.
Yeah, and as always, we want to hear from you guys. So jump in. Today, we're going to be talking about the offensive depth chart. So
Mhm.
jump in the comment section. Leave us your projected depth chart here as we just a couple days away from the start of fall camp. So we're excited about that. But also, if you're not already, hit that subscribe button. We've already reached our goal of 1,000 subscribers, but we want to keep this train rolling. We want to reach our next goal of 2,000 subscribers just as quickly as we can. This channel has just grown rapidly, and we're so thankful for what's happened so far, and it's been a lot of fun, and we can't continue to deliver all the content here on this channel.
Absolutely, it's exciting. Thank you all for getting us there. We really appreciate the love and support you given us. The last, I think this is our come August be 4 years, I believe, if I remember correctly. I
Yeah.
mean, from where we started out, and yeah, 4 years ago, I still can't talk any better than I did 4 years ago. But you know, I just enjoy doing this. We enjoy doing this, and you guys have pretty much took us under your wing and is like, I'm going to help these guys, want to support them, and we're here where we are today, and it's thanks to you. So we appreciate it.
Yeah, no doubt. We started the podcast 4 years ago this month, and started on YouTube just a little over a year ago. And bringing it over to YouTube has really kind of changed the game for us. And a lot of that is really just because of the viewers and the support that we received from you guys. And we're so excited for what's coming up next here on Tide Talk Live. We just continue to grow faster and faster, and it's because of you guys. It's nothing we're doing. We're nothing
Right.
special. We're just just two boys that love to talk about Alabama. So that's what we're here to do. We appreciate everybody, and like Jake said, we're so thankful and appreciated of everything that y'all have meant to us as far as helping us grow.
Absolutely, man. We just can't thank you enough. And but the show must go on. So I think that's enough thanking for a
Yeah,
while.
yeah.
Let's get on to
Yeah, let's
the
just jump
topics.
let's jump right into it, Jake. We're going to be looking at the offensive depth chart projections here. As we get, just like I said, a couple days away from the start of fall camp, which is hard to
Wow.
believe. But there's some positions here on the offense that are going to be up for grab. Of course, we know, and we can start at the quarterback position. We know who QB1 is. That's Bryce Young, the reigning Heisman Trophy winner. There's not much to say about Bryce Young other than he's going to be one of the best players in college football this year. So obviously, I think it's going to be Bryce Young as QB1, Jalen Milroe as QB2, and Ty Simpson as QB3. And I don't think you're going to have any objections with that order.
No, I'm perfectly fine with that. And we have talked about it, I believe, on the last show that we did together, that we feel like Miro will probably have some kind of package in this year's offense because that dude is just too good to be sitting on the sideline holding a clipboard.
Yeah. We talked about that on one of our last episodes of how,
Mhm.
just he's so gifted athletically that I'm not sure how you keep him on the sideline. And we'll know more once fall camp gets here and you kind of see some of the packages they roll out, and who's playing with who, and we might have a better idea of where Milrose stands as far as playing time goes once fall camp gets started. But Jake, let's move on over to the running back position. I'm going to go that Jahmyr Gibbs is running back
Oh
one, the
yeah.
transfer from Georgia Tech. You just look at him, Jake, and he's just different. We've talked about how we've had a lot of talented backs over the years, but this guy's just different. He's kind of an Alvin Kamara, a Josh Jacobs, a guy that can really do it all out of the backfield. And I think he brings an explosive dynamic to this position that Alabama hadn't really had in a couple of years.
Absolutely. I'm excited. He's one of the guys that I'm really excited to see come in. Just, his electricity that he can bring on the field. Like you said, you know, in the third and short situation where, you know, maybe Bryce needs to get a quick, out to a running back for a couple of yards to get a first down. He's going to be there, and he might not just get a couple. He may get 20, 30 out of it because I mean he's an explosive guy. So I have no doubt he'll probably be the number one guy on the field come Saturdays.
Yeah, and I'm going to say that Jace McClellan is going to be the number two back there behind
Yeah.
Gibbs, and then then you're looking at either, Trace or Will Williams, filling in that spot. And you could maybe even say the number two back is McClellan or Williams or Sanders, because I think those
Yeah.
three guys are probably going to be pretty evenly split on touches this season. And then you got to think the freshmen, Jamarian Miller and Emmanuel Henderson will, round out the depth chart there at the running back position.
Man, you talk about a lot of talent, at that spot at running back. I mean, how you gonna get all these guys on the field? That's the challenge. And
Right.
we can sit here and talk about it all day. Saban's got to do that every Saturday, so
Hmm.
it's gonna and Bill O'Brien. So it's gonna be a challenge for sure. But I do expect those guys to show up and show out when their time's called, because I mean they're all competitors, and they're gonna be ready for the opportunity.
Yeah. And all these guys kind of bring a little bit something different to the table. So it's going to be fun to see how all the backs are used this fall. And speaking of how all the talented backs are going to be used, I'm excited to see what they do wide receiver, Jake. I think
I
at
know.
X, I think at the X position, you're going to see Georgia transfer Jermaine Burton there
Mhm,
as the main guy. He's going to be that John May type player for Alabama this fall. And then you look at the Z position, that's probably going to be Ja'Cory Brooks or Trayshawn Holden, somebody like that. And then at the H, you might could see, Tyler Harrell, the transfer from Louisville. You could see, maybe JoJo Earl. You could see Christian Leary at that spot. You
mhm.
might see some freshmen like, Kendrick Law, Isaiah Bond, Shaz Preston. Some of those guys worked their way into the rotation a little bit. Jake, there's just so much talent there, wide receiver that there's just, I don't know how they're going to get all these guys the ball.
I don't either. I mean, there's only one football, and you got all these guys that's going to be looking to get the ball. I mean, it's incredible on how much depth there is on this team. We talk about it so many times, but it's kind of funny that you bring in some of these guys, but yeah, they bring experience, and we are kind of lackluster at wide receiver coming in this year if those guys had not come in. Now Christian Leary has played a good bit. Holden has some experience, and Ja'Cory Brooks has some, but you need a leadership. You need some leadership at that position to get these young guys, keep them in line. And I feel like Harrell and Burton are going to be those guys for us.
Yeah, I think the wide receiver group has a chance to be really good. I'm not sure it's going to be as dominant as what Mechie and Williams were last year. I think you'll see a little bit more distribution as far as who the ball goes to this fall, and a lot of that not only has to do with the fact that JMO is, we don't have a JMO, we don't have a Mechie. I'm not saying those guys can't turn into those type of players, but we don't know that they're there yet. So right now, I would say that you're probably going to see a little bit more distribution to other playmakers. And, you got to think that Gibbs is going to get his fair share of catches as well. And then we
Mhm.
move to the tight end position, Jake, and, think about Cameron Latou and how he could touch the ball. But, and there is some rumors that Cameron Latou is going to be out for the first month or so of the season with an injury. Nothing has officially been reported yet, so we're not going to report on that at all until something official has been mentioned on Cameron Latou. But, you
Right.
think about guys like him and Amari Nablack, Robbie Oots, the redshirt freshman, he started to come on during the spring. So there's a lot of young talent there, but Latou is really the only guy that's experienced there at the tight end position.
Yeah, losing Latu, if that is the case, may hurt a little bit because he is the leader at the tight
Yeah.
end position. He has the experience, but once he comes back, we're going to be fine. And Niblack and all them guys, I feel like can hold their share, until the two gets back. So I'm not
Yeah,
really
and you got to
concerned that.
think that the guy Miles Ketzelman from junior college, he
Yeah.
has a little bit of experience, on the junior college level, which is better than the high school level. So,
Hmm.
he's not just fresh blood, but he doesn't have SEC experience, so that is going to be a little bit of a learning curve for him. But there's a lot of talk that he could maybe be tied into, surpassing Robbie Oots this fall. So,
Yeah.
like we said, we'll know more about that once fall camp starts rolling around. But projecting right now, I would say it's Cameron Latou as tight end one, and then Robbie Oots is going to be tight end two. But not knowing the true nature of what's going on with Latou, it's hard to really talk about the tight end position right now.
It is, but I expect those guys to be ready when their time's called, and they're going to do make the necessary plays when given the chance.
Right. And the last group we have on offense, Jake, is the offensive line. And last season was a disappointment from the offensive line. I mean, there's no way around it. Uh, they underperformed. The talent
Yeah,
level was not quite what it usually is in Tuscaloosa on the offensive line. And then there was some injuries. And then look at Doug Marone. He had just come down from the NFL, so he was coaching NFL players, the coaching 18 to 19 to 20-year-old kids. So it was going to be an adjustment for him as well. And it just didn't work out well. It was kind of an imperfect storm and
yeah.
of problems for the Alabama offensive line. And that's why the unit as a whole struggled for the majority of the season. But I do think with the addition of Coach Wolf is now there, and I'm really impressed with him. I think he's a phenomenal recruiter. I think he's one of the best on the field coaches in the country in regards to the offensive line. So I like what we have there, and I like the guys that we have in place right now too, Jake. Bringing in Tyler Steen from Vanderbilt, I
Hmm.
think he's going to secure that blind side for Bryce Young and be the starting left tackle there. We got Cohen back at left guard. He's a guy who has, really good potential and could work himself into being an early, probably day 2 pick in the NFL draft next spring if he continues to improve. And probably going to be Seth McLaughlin at center, maybe Darian Dalcourt. That's going to be a big battle this fall. I'm
Hmm.
going to go with Seth McLaughlin. It seems like the offensive line just gelled better with him during the latter part of the season. At right guard, I think it's going to be obviously Emil Ekiyor Jr., a senior who's coming back for another year to hopefully be healthy for the entire season and
Right.
continue to improve his draft stock as well. And then you have sophomore J.C. Latham. I think it's going to be the starting right tackle. So I like the 5 guys that we have there, and we might can move those guys around a bit. Who knows? Maybe we show up and decide that Latham's going to be left tackle, and Steen's going to be right tackle, or Cohen's going to be right guard, and Ekiyor is going to be left guard. But I like those guys, and then I like a couple of the guys that we have behind those. You always got to have 6 to 8 offensive linemen that you can count on, and I think Alabama does. Not that you're going to see a much improved offensive line this fall.
I agree. I think coaching alone is going to be, get us to that next step. I mean, like you said, Doug Marone was a guy from the NFL, and his ideas didn't really work with this offensive line. But we got Coach Wolf, and he is a great coach. He did really well. Has some really good offensive line. See, offensive linemen up there in Kentucky, and has some really good offensive linemen there. But yeah, this group here, I think they're going to be much improved. And honestly, like you said, I really like Dalcourt, but the offensive line seemed to gel once Seth took over that center position. So looks like our middle is set with Cohen, Seth, and Emil Ekiyor. Just got to find the 2 tackles, and like you said, I believe we're going to have them with Latham and Steen.
Yeah, I feel like Steen was brought
Hmm.
in for obviously he's going to have to compete for that spot.
Hmm.
But the coaching staff would not have brought him in if they didn't think he had a really good shot of winning a starting spot along the offensive line. And
Hmm.
J.C. Latham, he played a good bit. He played well over 100 snaps at right guard last fall as a true freshman. So he's just playing over there on that right side and probably making that transition to right to be a little bit easier than over there at left tackle.
Absolutely. I'm excited to see how this group gels. And like you said, there's a couple guys behind. Like we mentioned Dalcourt. If he doesn't win the center's position, he could be plugged in at one of the guard spots if something happens. God forbid, of course. But you got Randolph, I believe, or
Yep, yep,
Kendall Randolph, and then you've got Damian George as well. So I mean, there's a couple guys that's lurking in the
yeah.
background should something happen.
Yep. Yeah, there's like you said, there's plenty of dudes down there. It's just about
Mhm.
finding the best 5, and I
Right.
think those are going to be the best 5, the ones we mentioned. And I really like that group of guys. I think they have a chance to be really, really good if they can gel. And it always takes a couple of games, but you
Right.
play Utah State, you overmatch those guys. Texas is not. They're going to be a good team, but they don't have just a super defense.
Mhm.
So they have a chance to kind of get comfortable there as well. And so you get 2 games under your belt, you kind of found out who you are. So
Right.
getting those 2 games in is going to be huge. And so once we get to August 13th and August 20th will be a couple scrimmages, and we'll know a lot more about the offensive line and how the coaching staff feels about the offensive line here in just the next couple of weeks.
Absolutely. And before we go, Stace, I want to make one more mention about the wide receiver core.
Yeah,
Um, I want to see who's going to be our Slade Bolden. Who's going to be that guy that Bryce can rely on 3rd and 7, 3rd and 5, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 10 situations that he can just hover it around the first down marker. And if his first option is not there, he can throw it to that guy, whoever that guy is, and the guy's going to get the first down for us.
yeah.
I think that is key. Slade Bolden may not have the speed, may not have the recognition, but he always hovered around that first down marker for us. And when it was thrown to him, he caught it 99% of the time.
Yeah. Yeah. And this year's group at wide receiver is a little bit different. Last
Mhm.
year, Mechie's not a super explosive player. Bolden was not an explosive player. It was just really JMO as the explosive guy. Now you look at this group, and
God.
the group as a whole is really explosive.
Yeah.
I mean, when you think about Harrell, Burton is faster than what you think.
Yes.
JoJo Earl, Christian Leary, the
Hmm.
freshman Kobe Prentice, Shaz Preston, all those guys have really good speed
The
and can get
Anderson kid, I think.
yeah, Aaron
Yeah.
Anderson. They can
Yeah.
all get vertical. So I
Hmm.
think we don't maybe not have that one guy that's explosive, but as a group, the wide receiver group is much more explosive this year than it was last year, and I think that's just going to help the Alabama offense.
Absolutely, absolutely. But I feel like you still need that one guy to be a safety net, just in case those options are not there. So I want to say who that guy is for
And,
this
and
team.
and it could be Gibbs out of the backfield.
It could be.
That could be what happens.
Hmm.
Each year is obviously it's a new season. So with a new season, you have to change things up to what your personnel is, and this year's personnel is definitely different than what it was last year because, like we said, we had Brian Robinson at running back, just really that thumper of a guy, not somebody that's going to wow you with his electrifying speed and
Right.
explosiveness, and you had a guy like Slade Bolden, so it's going to be different this year. The offense is going to look, you know, probably more like it did, the year with Tua and Josh Jacobs and Jalen Waddle. So I think you might see that type of offense more than what we've seen last year. With the thumper of a running back and the guys at wide receiver outside of JMO that were just not just true explosive playmakers.
Right. Yeah. I agree 100%. I'm excited to see how this team's going to look on the field.
No doubt, no doubt. A lot to be excited about. Fall camp gets started this week, just a couple days, and we cannot wait for that. But that's really going to wrap this video up. Once again, if you're not already, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you don't miss any of the content here that we have at Tide Talk Live on the Alabama Crimson Tide. Basketball season will be coming up soon. They had a scrimmage the other day. We're going to be
Oh
talking
man.
about that here real soon as well.
Hmm.
We're going to get some inside information on that. That is in the works right now. So we're excited about that as well. But like I said, if you're not already, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification, hit the like button on this video, help this video reach 100 likes. And while you're at it, jump in the comment section and leave us your offensive depth chart projection. But that's going to wrap this video up. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, roll tide.
Roll Tide.